Alright there guys, and welcome back to another video. Today it is time for us to cover our first anime show in over a month. The last time we covered a show, it was Odd Taxi. This time we are covering Girlfriend, Girlfriend. Yes, that is actually the name of the show. So, it's a harem anime, and a very interesting one because it's very different to most harem animes for one reason. That one reason being, it's the harem anime where everybody kind of wins, which never happens in harem anime. And a bit of trivia to start off with, the creator of the Girlfriend Girlfriend manga said this, I'm not making this up, said that the reason why nobody in the harem really loses is because they didn't like how in the quintessential quintuplets, yes, I am going to mention it again, I'm not making this up, the creator actually said this, that because only one sister out of the 5 of them in the quintessential quintuplets can actually win, they didn't like that. How only one of them can win, so they made a manga about every girl in the harem winning. Let's get started. Our story begins with our protagonist, Naoya. He's he's like any harem protagonist. He's not very interesting. He definitely should not be attracting the girls that he is, but he is. And it starts off with him confessing to his childhood friend, Saki. Yes, a harem anime where the childhood friend doesn't lose. Not only does the childhood friend not lose, the childhood friend is the one who gets confessed to instead of the other way round. So this show's already flipping the childhood friend trope on its head by making the childhood friend be the one who gets confessed to rather than being the one that does the confessing like in most harem anime. And Saki does accept Naoya's confession and the two of them begin dating. Just so happens that on the very same day, later on, a girl by the name of Nagisa asks Naoya to come to the roof of the school, and she confesses to him on the very same day. And you're probably thinking, well, surely Naoya's only just started dating Saki. Why would he already go behind her back and accept somebody else's confession? Well, you're in for a treat, because that's exactly what he did. Naoya accepts Nagisa's confession, and Naoya started that day with 0 girlfriends, and he's ended the day with 2. So that's a bit of an interesting one. How did he manage that one? By being very stupid, that's how. So later in the day, he literally begs Saki to let him 2-time her and Nagisa at the same time. She reluctantly accepts, but now they have the difficult situation of how is Naoya going to be able to equally satisfy both of them and make both of them happy without one of them feeling like the other one is receiving more attention. Well, that's his problem, not mine. He's the idiot, not me, so he can deal with it. So their relationship pretty much cannot happen at school. The 2-timing cannot happen at school because that's going to make people suspicious. So they do try to work around that. But it just so happens they sneak into the school's a storage room. You know, like the one that Tomoya and Kyo in Clannad get locked inside of. Very similar to that, but they actually go into there intentionally. They sneak in intentionally and are having lunch. Only for someone to spot them. And now we have the other girl in the image you're currently looking at. So far, the redhead is Saki, the blue hair is Nagisa, and the yellow hair, she's the next one to come in. She is Mika. And she is a YouTuber. But, for copyright reasons, she's called a MeTuber. Personally, I've said, and I have said this in more videos before, I love it when anime takes real-life brands, puts them into their show, but changes their name to avoid copyright. Like how in The Devil is a Part-Timer, McDonald's is called WorkDonald's, and KFC, instead of being called Kentucky Fried Chicken, it's called Sentucky Fried Chicken. Things like that, where they change the brand names of something so they can still use the brand without worrying that brand is going to sue them for copyright. So yeah, Mika is a MeTuber, and her videos are making some decent money on the ad revenue. Mainly because she has her boobs in the thumbnail a lot. I mean, hey, it sells. She knows the YouTube game and she plays it well. So for no apparent reason, she decides to make it her goal to try to get Naoya to fall in love with her now. She's so dedicated to this task, she even camps out outside of his house in a tent. For multiple days at a time, probably over a week. And all of that stuff is delivered by Amazon. That's right, they found a way to put Amazon in this show without the copyright issues. Instead of being called Amazon, they changed the O to a U and called it Amazon. Not the same name, therefore no copyright issues. And while she's camped outside of his house, bearing in mind, Naoya, Saki and Nagisa all live together now. God, imagine that. You started the day with no girlfriends, you end the day with 2 girlfriends, and now you're living with them. Naoya is basically living the dream. Not only that, but how the hell, he's no different to Kazuya, really, from Rent a Girlfriend from last year. He's not really any better of a character. But yet, he has 2 actual girlfriends, and Kazuya has to settle for renting. Even if he did almost confess to Chizuru at the end of the first season, and then had to quickly go back on it. But yeah, Mika is making more MeTube videos. I love that name. It shows how creative. It doesn't sound very creative if you just switch you to me, but hey, they had to come up with some name. They could have called it anything, but they decided to make it simple and call it MeTube. She's making MeTube videos, of which she knows for a fact, if her boobs are in the thumbnail and her boobs are a little bit visible, the ad revenue is going to go up, and it absolutely does. Mika is also has daddy issues, as her dad tries to force her to delete her MeTube channel, of which Naoya actually stopped him from doing so. And that's the moment where she goes from trying to make him fall for her own gain to actually having feelings for him. And yes, I am going to mention the quintuplets again. Mika happens to have the same exact voice actress as Nino. So the daddy issues tsundere type of character, Nino's actress already had some experience of doing earlier this year as Nino. So she already had that down to a T. And the actress that plays Saki also plays Yotsuba. So yeah, those are a lot of links between this show and the quintuplets. But when you're thinking, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Naoya? Is it going to be Saki? Which one of them is finally going to give Naoya his first kiss? Well, if your answer was neither of them, you would be absolutely correct. Because it was Mika. She swoops in and steals it right from under them. And she's the only one that did it as well. This creates even more tension between all the characters, because the only person to have kissed Naoya so far is the only one of them who isn't even his girlfriend. He thinks he's morally okay to two-time them, but three-timing, oh no, that's where he draws the line. Two-timing, yeah, that'd be fine. Three-timing, oh no, there's none of that. We cannot be having any of that now. So then they plan a hot springs trip, of which Naoya, Nagisa, Saki, Mika go. All of them go, and even Saki's friend Shino goes as well, who happens to be voiced by Rie Takahashi. You may know her better as Amelia from Re:Zero, or most obviously Megumin from Konosuba. So at the hot springs trip, you know where this is. A hot springs trip in a harem romance anime. Of course, Naoya sees all four girls naked, because of course he does, including Shino. That one wasn't even planned, it just happened. Shino becomes very, very concerned and suspicious of Naoya's relationship, thinking that he's two-timing, because he is. So this ends up with and then we end up with the backstory of Nagisa and why she even fell in love with Naoya to begin with. And what's very strange about it is the reason she fell in love with him is because of the way he confessed to Saki all for the first time. He was doing this a lot. He confessed to Saki almost every single month. He would not give up. And at the start of high school, he finally winded her down to giving in. And she tells this story to Saki, and when I was watching that, which was only a few days ago, I was thinking, how have you fallen in love with someone because of the way they confess to somebody else? That makes no sense. But I mean, hey, this show doesn't have to make sense. It's a bit like Rent a Girlfriend in terms of this show concept really shouldn't work, but somehow it does work, and it works pretty well. After telling that story to Saki, Nagisa is running off once she sees Naoya, which indulges in a big chase scene, of which Naoya shows his resilience of never giving up, which is what made Nagisa fall in love with him in the first place, to catching up to her. And Shino finally confronts them. What is the type of relationship they have? And Nagisa says, I'm his girlfriend. And that's where Shino finally finds out that he was two-timing both of them the whole time. And the image you're actually looking on screen right now is actually one of the very last shots of the entire show, because you can see Nagisa, Saki, and Mika are all clinging to him, as that's pretty much how the show ends, with the three of them doing that to him. So what did I think of this show? Well, it was an interesting concept. The reason why I even decided to watch it was because I read the description of what the show was about, and the name seemed very interesting. As it seems that the word girlfriend is appearing a lot more in different shows. In 2019 we had Domestic Girlfriend, 2020 we had Rent-A-Girlfriend, 2021 we have Girlfriend. But I thought the show was interesting. It was certainly a new type of harem anime where no one really loses, which in harem anime losing is so common. Is like the most common thing in a harem anime, someone losing, but not this time. There was no losing. Everybody who joined the harem did win in some kind of way. So I'll give the show props for trying something new with harem, which you don't see almost ever. But would I put it in it? But would I consider it for anime of the year? I'm gonna probably say no to that one. I don't think it's quite at the level to be considered for my anime of the year. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again this time next week for Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid Season 2. But until then, catch you later.